Hello, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and actually I'm here with my buddy Joey Garofalo, and he's getting a special front row seat to this lesson because he cares so much and he's doing his best. All right, we're going to get right down to this. We're going to make a table. Oh, maybe I should make my tables up ahead of time. Okay, and so there, -5 is my first term. There's my second term, my third term, my fourth term, my fifth term, and I'm looking for the nth term. So the first thing I do is I go and find my differences, right? So I see that is a difference of +3. And that's a difference of +5. And there's a +7. And that's a +9. No matches, so I have to go down to the second level. 3 to 5, I need to add 2. To turn 5 into 7, I need to add 2. To turn 7 into 9, I need to add 2. I don't know if you've noticed this, but um, on the second level, we seem to always get a 2 there. It's like a +2. That's not a coincidence. It always works out like that, and that means that my formula is something like n squared. So now I make my comparison line, right? And I'm going to plug these orange numbers in for n. And so I'm going to do 1 squared and get 1, and then 2 squared is 4, and then 3 squared is 9, 16, and 25. And now I'm going to go ahead and compare up. How do I turn 1 into -5? Now, I know that bothers some of you. I think you should be able to answer it, but maybe one of these other ones will be more obvious. Hey, how about this one? How do I turn 9 into 3? Well, don't I subtract 6? And 16 into 10, don't I subtract 6? 25 minus 6, is that 19? You better believe it. 4 minus 6 is -2. 1 minus 6 is -5. It's always -6. So my nth term is going to be the n squared, then minus the 6. And there we go. And with that, I can find any number. I could find the 105th term if I wanted to. All right, here's a second example. Hold on one second. Okay, so here's the second example. It goes 14, 17, 22, 29, 38. So that's my first number, my second number, my third number, my fourth number, my fifth number, and I'm looking for the nth number. So I need to go ahead and find the first differences. All right. So let me see. How do I turn 4 into 17? I add 3. 17 to 22, I add 5. This will be add 7, and then there's an add 9. First difference didn't prove anything, so I go to the second difference, and there we go. There's that 2 showing up again. And every time that 2 shows up, that tells me that I'm on the second difference, and I'm going to use n to the second power. All right. Looks like I'm out of my calligraphy pen. I really like my calligraphy pen. Okay, so now I'm going to do my comparison line. And let's see here. I'll put 5 spaces under the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I square the 1, I square the 2, I square the 3, I square the 4, I square the 5. All right. And now I'm going to compare up, and I'll use Poiple. That looks like +13, doesn't it? 4 into 17, that looks like +13. How do I turn 9 into 22? I add 13. 16 to 29, I add 13. And I add 13 once again. There we go. All right, that means I'm going to take this n squared, but then I'm going to find my color, add 13, and that's my nth term. Okay, here is another example. This one's going to look a little bit different. I'm afraid I might have just disconnected. Okay, hopefully you guys can still hear me. It'd be a bummer if the sound craps out, but I don't have a way to tell. All right, so let me see. Where's my orange? I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay. So go to find my first differences. Looks like I'm going to subtract 3 there. And it looks like on this one I'm going to subtract 5, then I'm going to subtract 7, subtract 9. That is a little bit different. All the other ones were plus, but okay. They're not all the same. So let me go down to the second level. I'm going to subtract 2, and then subtract 2 more, and then subtract 2. And I've got that 2 showing up again. Now this one's going to be a little bit different because of that negative. I'm still going to have an n squared, but I'm going to have a negative out front. Now, some of you don't realize this, but if I take -1 and square it, or if I do -1 and the quantity squared, they do not equal each other. Because of the order of operations on this one, I have to square 1, I have to do the exponent, and then make it negative. So this one equals -1. But this one here means -1 times -1, which is +1. Okay? So they're not the same thing. So this negative is out front here. Got to be careful when I do my comparison line, because if I don't know that, I'm going to do this one wrong. All right, let's see here. I'm going to make my comparison line. And I'm going to square 1, but then I'm going to make it negative. I'm going to square 2, but then I'm going to make it negative. I'm going to square 3 and make it negative. Square 4 and make it negative. Oops. And I'm going to square 5 and make it negative. Now do you see that they match perfectly? That means my formula, my nth term, is -n squared. So it's different, but it's not really difficult. Just have to keep track of what is going on. All right, number 4. Let's see here. Let's see. Got a 1, got a 2, got a 3, got a 4, got a 5, and got an n. All right, gonna go find my first differences. Looks like I'm subtracting 3, subtracting 5, subtracting 7, subtracting 9. No luck, go down, subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract 2. All right, this means on this one, I'm going to have a minus n squared. We just learned about that in the last problem, right? Very good. All right, let's put some spaces in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 1 squared, but then I'll make it negative. I'll do 2 squared, make it negative. 3 squared, make it negative. 4 squared, make it negative. 5 squared, make it negative. And now I'm going to ask myself, how do I turn the -1 into +1? I bet I'd add 2. -4 to -2, I'd add 2. -9 to -7, I'll add 2. Add 2. Add 2. God bless you. All right, so we're going to get a -n squared, but then we're going to add 2 to it. All right, that's it for today's video. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lawrence signing off.